Good morning, sir. Myself am Rutuba Farzana from Tribly Department and my roll number is 244 G1A0244. And my topic is a preparation on function declaration by using few examples. Introduction to function declaration. Functions are usable blocks of designing to perform specific tasks. They help in organizing code and improving reliabilities. Using and understanding function declaration is crucial for efficient programming. What is a function? A function is a self-contained block of code that executes of specific tasks. Function can take inputs, call parameters, and may return outputs. They also allows for coding reliabilities, reusabilities, and modularity in programs. Syntax of function declaration. The syntax generally includes the return type, function name, and parameters. A basic structure looks like return type, function name, parameter type, parameter names. It is important to follow the correct syntax to avoid complications, errors. Example of a simple function. Here is an example for a simple function. A simple function adds two numbers which are known as int a and b. It gives a return value as a plus b. This function takes two integers and parameters, returns their sums. It demonstrates a straightforward way to perform arithmetic progressions. Functions with no return values. Functions can also be declared with returning any values. The functions with no return values are also known as void functions, and they may perform actions without sending data back. The example of function with no return values is void printf message, printf hello world, etc. Function overloading. Function overloading allows multiple functions with the same name but different parameters. This prompt code clarifies and flexibility in designs. The example for function overloading is int add int a and b and double add double a and double b are the two valid overloads. These are the examples of function declaration. Default parameter values. Default parameters values are in three cases. They are both arguments are passed, and argument is passed, no argument is passed. These are the three cases of default values. Default parameter values. Some programs languages allow default values for function parameters. Their feature enabilities is called as with fewer arguments. In the example of default parameter values is void display int a and int b is equals to any value. Inline functions. Inline functions are declared with the inline keyword to suggest code expansion instead of function calls. Inline function is the example of C++, which explores the visit subject of inline function in C++ and learns syntax, examples and advantages with the defaulted guides. This can reduce the overhead of function calls in performing critical codes. The example of inline function is int x and return x. Recursive functions. A recursive function calls itself to solve smaller instance of same problem. This technique of often used in algorithms like factorial functions. For example, recursive functions is int factorial and return values n is equals to 1 or n is 1 is to n. Function pointers. Function pointers allow storing the address for following functions for dynamic innovations. They provide flexibilities in programming, particularly is called callback functions. The pointer functions declare function pointers and returns type specific for target functions. Parameter type specified for the target functions. FOO is the variable name for the return type functions. Best practice in function declaration: always provides meaningful name for functions to describe their purpose clearly, keeps function focused on a single task to enhance reliabilities and maintainabilities. Document function parameters and return types to add function developers are the is called as best particles in function declaration. Conclusion: function declaration are essential for structured programming. They enhance code organization, reliability, and usabilities. Master's function declare is key to become a proficient functions or programs. Structured programming techniques are have two types. There is advantages and disadvantages for structured programming techniques. Thank you sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity.